Well, welcome everyone. I'm so happy to finally meet you. I've met some of you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for agreeing to meet with me. Well, you've been offered admission, so congratulations. We really are looking forward to see if you decide to join us. Some of you are Bart students, Bart alumni, and some of you are not really have ever been to campus, I understand, or know much about the Living Institute. So what I'm going to try to do in this session is just go very quick with what comes next after you've been offered admission. So I'm going to just do a very, very quick presentation, and I'm going to try to cover all aspects, and then please interrupt me at any time. You can also chat. We can also chat. And I'll come back, and then I will answer your questions. I understand that there's some 3+2 students here, so just go with the flow. Some of this stuff you don't have to complete, and I will tell you what stuff you don't have to complete because you're already students at Bart. So I'm gonna start the presentation now, if I can do this. I'm better with Google Meetings, so bear with me. Okay. So here I have to do what? Present? No. Oh. Do you know how do I present, guys? I usually do Google, so I have no idea. Share
Just trying to run a video.
No, okay, I got it. Sorry, guys. I am not very good at this. Sorry. So I want to do this one, right? Hold on. Trying to get there. Okay, I got it. So I'm going to present this one. Everybody can see my presentation, right? Okay. All right, so what I'm going to go really quick over this. You either got an admission offer either to our MA, which is 2 semesters, or to the 4 semesters, 2 years MS. Both programs share the same courses, the same core courses, the same electives. The only difference between one and the other is not only the length, but also what is required for you to get a degree. Whereas the MS students will have to complete a formal MS dissertation. That means a formal big drafts and stuff for that thesis. The MA students, all they have to do after 2 semesters, 1 year, it's to write a final paper. It can be a final essay, it could be a policy proposal, it's up to you. Students in the MS are more into research. The 2nd year of the program is basically just you doing mentored research workshops with the programs director and also with your advisors and all other faculty at the Living Institute. That's the only difference. Both students take, in both programs, they take core courses. You can see these also in our website. You take these core courses. These are the same for everyone, and also the electives. Now, the electives change every semester, and it depends who's here in the area and who is traveling. The scholars at the Living Institute are also the faculty of the programs. So one of the things that we are very proud of is that our students, while enrolled in the programs, are also actually actively participating in real world research. So you have access to all the faculty, you have all the access to the research that it's done in the Institute. Right here, you see some of the electives that we are teaching right now. For example, it's poverty, inequality, and wealth. Also development finance. We have, right now, I think we're doing also the gender of political economy. So this semester has been very, how do you say, very, we have four electives in the spring semester. One of the things that we like to promote about our programs is that we are very limited in size. That means you are not going to be in classes or seminars that have over 10 people. Our classes are very small, and this is done, it was probably done with the idea of offering students a very meaningful research experience. Every scholar at the Institute knows what you're working on, what is your academic interest, and what is your research topic. When students present their first drafts or their proposals for thesis, every scholar of the Institute is there and offers feedback, and it's right there contributing to your research. You also get feedback from our wonderful librarian. I think he's one of the best assets we have. The Levy Institute has its own library in the building, so you have access to every single journal, even the most obscure book that you can imagine, he will get it to you. So I think he's one of the best assets. We do not have teaching assistants. We do not offer opportunities for internships. As you probably, if you know the Levy Institute, you know that we are advocates of fair jobs and fair wages. Right now, the structure of the college doesn't allow us to offer any kind of internship that breaks with this model of exploitation of graduate students. So we've decided to not offer that kind of jobs that, you know, don't have any payment or benefits for students. It's very difficult right now to start that conversation or take it over of trying to offer students an internship that offers them not only benefits, but also a fair wage. So we have put that on pause. So at the moment, there are no TAs and no internships. Another thing also that I like to like I said before, our students have direct participation in economics research. The research that it's done at the Levy Economics Institute, has also been used by our students for their theses. As you probably know, the Levy Institute has a poverty measure that incorporates time, the dimension of time. So our students are able to dig into that model and use it for their own research. Our graduates usually go to PhD programs, or many of them have also been able to pursue a career in economic analysis. Some of them are even working right now in the White House. Some of our graduates are also in the New York State Legislature. So we are very proud that I would say 99% of our students have been able to find a job or are doing something else after the programs. Now, for our meeting, right, I wanted to talk to you about enrolling. So now you've been offered admissions. You've also been offered your financial aid. We do not intervene with financial aid. If you have any question or would like to submit an appeal for your financial aid to be increased, you have the right to do so. In order to submit that appeal, you will have to write an essay directed to the graduate financial aid office and tell them why are the reasons that you are appealing for more resources or more funds. And they usually get back to you within 2 or 3 weeks. Now, because of the pandemic, things are kind of hectic here. People are traveling. I mean, they don't live in the area. So we don't really have a control of how quick these financial aid appeals go out. But I encourage you to submit one if you need more resources to attend the program. We usually ask students, if possible, that they reply to our admission offer by May 1st, May 15th, something like that. And we also ask them that in order to enroll, so that we register and the BART administration, computers and all that stuff registers your account, we ask you that in order to kick in that account, you have to deposit through your application portal an enrollment deposit. It's $500 or $515, and it will be reimbursed to you. This is not a payment, it's going to be reimbursed to you. All it does is that it allows the system not only to create your account, but also to issue your BART email, which is crucial for communication with you. So through this BART account, you will be able to submit electronically, the same way that you submitted your application, your medical forms. Medical forms, they have to do with, immunizations and all of that physical information that you have to submit in order to enroll. New York State has certain, and I think most of the states in the United States have certain public health rules about certain immunizations that students have to present proof of before they can be admitted on campus. Even if you are considering attending for the start remote, you still have to submit those forms. That deposit also allows us to start the process, if you're interested, of course, of housing. Bard College offers limited but available housing for graduate students. So for example, some international students, we have both ways, some international students have found that living the first year with on-campus housing is easier because they are not really, how do you say, they don't know the area. And it's also easier because there's so many things going on. Snow removal, Wi-Fi, securing a car to move around. So sometimes the students find that it's easier to live on campus. And for prices right now, because of the pandemic, I cannot tell you that it's affordable to live off campus. It's very limited. We've had a lot of students that came back from the spring semester that have been trouble securing housing in this area. We're hoping that by the fall, things will go a little bit back to normal. But so far, it's been the housing market is really, really stretched. So, we're just gonna have to wait and hold on. There is of course, and this is like let's address the white elephant in the room. There is a huge, big possibility that Bard College will continue with the hybrid model that we're following right now. That means that some classes are remote. Students attend via Google Meetings, which is the one that I use, or via Zoom classes. And we also have students that are here on campus. So they have been able to go into the building at the Living Institute and take classes there. They connect to the Wi-Fi. Some of them have had some issues of connectivity back in the dorms or in the areas where they live. So that institute is open for them. So they can come in, study, work in the institute, and also attend classes remote. There is a high, like I said, there is a high probability that this is the way we're going to continue through the fall. So we will offer students the possibility to stay home and work from home and attend the programs from home. If that is the case with you, there are a lot of stuff that you don't have to complete. For example, the housing profile. There's also a bunch of fees that you would not have to pay. For example, insurance, which is included there in the medical forms. There is a cost of insurance. If you don't have insurance now, you will have to buy the Bard College insurance, for example. But if you're not here, if you're not on campus, you don't have to pay for that, for example. So there's a lot of stuff that we have to go through, and that's why I scheduled this meeting, So if you have any questions about these fees and tuitions and stuff, just let me know. For international students, if you want to come and attend classes in person, you will have to apply for a visa. And in order to do that, we will send you all the packages and you will have to schedule a visa at your local embassy or consulate. We don't know if they're open yet. There's stuff still on the air for the fall. So we don't know if we know that some embassies and consulates have been closed for a while. Some have opened, but we cannot tell until, further in time. So if you are considering, if you're an international student and are considering attending in person, I suggest that you reach out soon so we can prepare your documents and everything that you're going to have to present in that interview. We do have to do this before you schedule your interview, because you need a lot of electronic formats that we will send to you. Well, me, but also Bart's International Student Office. One thing that it's really important also that we ask students, if you have not submitted an official transcript, we need to have one in your file. We need to have an official transcript. The difference of an unofficial and an official transcript is on our website. If that transcript is in another language that is not English, we're going to need an official translation. This is very important because in order to issue your degree, for you to receive your degree ultimately after 1 year or 2 years, we need to see your official transcript. So your degree won't be conferred if there is no official transcript in your file. Many of you have already submitted it, and I thank you a lot. And for those of you that haven't, please consider doing so, because we always have this rush just before commencement trying to locate the official transcript of students. So for, to expedite this thing, I really would appreciate if you could send it to us as soon as you can. This is the address where the official transcripts can be mailed if your institution does not send them electronically. Many universities now are opting to send them electronically, so that's the email where they should go. And if you're, usually foreign universities don't do that. They usually just mail the traditional official transcripts. So that's our address. All of this information is also in our website. And of course, you can always email me if you have any questions or comments. I think pretty much most of you have completed the financial aid forms. If you haven't, I don't see anybody that hasn't, but if you haven't, just a reminder, if you are interested in receiving financial aid, there's still financial aid available. Most of you, I think, are also have expressed interest in being considered for the Minsky or Godly scholarships. For that, you also just need to, write an essay or, just express an email in a short message in the email that you are interested in being considered for those scholarships. There are 2 scholarships. And we will submit the list to the president of the Levy Institute. He's the one that makes the decision, and it's up to him. It's a mix of academic achievements. It's also a mix of how well you know about the Levy Institute, if you are familiar with Minsky's work, if you are familiar with Gottlieb's work. So I don't know how he makes the decision, but he's the one that makes this decision. This is the 2nd year that we do the Minsky and the Gottlieb scholarships. The pandemic messed up our first big announcement that was going to be done in the Minsky Conference. That got canceled, shut down. So we couldn't make a big deal. And we really didn't think it was the appropriate time to do that. It's probably going to be the same this year. Things are, slowly going back to normal, but really, there is not much to celebrate. I mean, you know, these are dire times for the world. So yeah, go ahead, Ben.
It's not totally clear. You're expecting an applicant to write an essay for the program, or it's just an indication of interest?
Either you want to write a letter and tell us why, tell him why are you interested, or
But
just tell him, can you consider me? And that's it. It's up to
there's
you.
no formal or specific
No,
requirement. I
no, no,
see.
no,
Yeah,
no, no.
thank you.
You know what happened last year? He just said, okay, we're going to, well, you're familiar with how things are done at BART. It's a very unconventional place. So he just said, okay, let's see the list, who is applying. And he decided just right there. So it's very unconventional, I would say. Anybody else? No? Okay. Let's continue. Again, addressing the white elephant in the room. As you know, you probably know and are aware, things change from one day to the other. Our semester got messed up from one day to the other. There are continuous notifications about the protocols for arrivals. I'm not going to go through the whole thing with you because these probably will change in the fall. All I'm going to relate to you is that sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, at all times, students have to comply with New York State protocols for COVID. So, for example, once upon a time, back in the fall of 2020, there was this quarantine for red list states. Right now, if students that were attending the spring 2021 semester, if they presented a negative test, they only had to go to quarantine for 4 days, and then they were free to come to the BART area. There's a lot of testing going on. Students are tested when they arrive into BART. They're tested again about a week after, and there are a lot of random testing going on. Students, faculty, staff, everybody gets tested. And I think that has contributed to keeping the BART numbers of contagious down. I think the maximum we've had is at a time 5 students. How do I know this? Well, there is a campus data dashboard. That's the website. You can go and browse. I think the BART COVID response team has done a really, really good job. We've had neighboring universities and colleges that have had to shut down because students have not followed, and staff, of course, have not followed the rules. I am very proud to say that our community has been very careful, and so far we've been all very safe. We have not had an explosion, a contagious, right? So it's been pretty good. So like I said, we're expecting to think that things change, modify. We still don't know, but you will certainly be updated, and you will certainly be notified of everything that has to be done before you come to campus, if you decide to come to campus. We're really expecting our students, our community, to get back from these unharmed and maybe all with better energy and a lot more force to keep going. So like I said, we're a very, very small community. We all know each other. So COVID has actually been messing up how we talk and relate to each other. But we're here, and we're here for our students and also for you, our prospective students. So if at any point you need to talk about enrollment or anything that you don't feel is safe for your health, just reach out and I will be very happy to assist you and tell you more about the protocols of the college. Now let's go to something a little bit more light. The programs are housed in the Levy Economics Institute. I'm showing you our building. All your classes every single day that you are in the program, this will be your base. You don't go around campus except to, walk or eat or whatever. This is where you take classes every single day. Bart College has a wonderful, beautiful campus. We're located in the Hudson Valley, in upstate New York. The Institute, like I said, has a lot of rooms for students to work. We have our own library. There is a work study place, several work study places throughout the building. It's a very old building, so it requires a lot of, care, but students have been very respectful of this building. I also have to add that this is a closed building. It's not open for the public, and it's not open to, it is open to the college community, but not all the time. To be able to get in, you will have to have in your BART ID, you will have to be programmed to be able to get in. Not everybody comes in. So I think also that's what's been very helpful to keep our students and the scholars healthy. People have to be bussed in if they don't have the BART ID. So we control who comes in, who comes out, and it's really, really a very secluded and quiet place to continue and to pursue your academic work. The Institute also, right now, of course, because of COVID, didn't happen, like I just said. The Institute hosts the Minsky Conference, which was an initiative of Professor Hyman Minsky. It started back in the 80s, and what it was supposed to be, it was just like a meeting of Wall Street people coming together and talking about the finance world and all sorts of political stuff going on. After Professor Minsky passed, they kept the Minsky Conference going, and it has been every 30 years now, every year except last year. Last year we did not host it. There are plans of hosting this conference by Zoom. So I will certainly send you an invitation. Our students, you see in the pictures, our students have direct access to conference participants, speakers, scholars, everybody that is invited. Also, you have the opportunity to talk to them, and you have the opportunity to, the opportunity to network also. We encourage students to, work the room, talk to these people, and learn, from decision makers in this conference. This time we're not gonna, like I said, it's gonna be electronic via Zoom. So I will definitely students that have been offered admission are always welcome to participate. During the summer, we also have what we call the Summer Minsky Seminar. Of course, last year did not happen. We don't know if it's going to happen this year, but this is just to give students basically a crash course on the programs. So for 1 week, students from all over the world, young professionals basically, and students, graduate students, convene in the Institute during the summer, and they attend this seminar that it's, like I said, a crash course of the programs. So this has actually resulted in 2 or 3 students that joined the programs. So it is a really interesting thing to become acquainted with the scholars, and also to know the area and see if this is something that you want to pursue. Of course, this is in June. So by that time, we are hoping that students know if they're coming to study here or not. One of the advantages is not only, of course, I mean, like I said, the beauty nature of this place. We are located in the Hudson Valley in Dutchess County. It's about an hour and a half from New York City. There are commuter trains to this area, and there is also an Amtrak train that goes further north to Boston and whatever. We are in Dutchess County, which is a very rural place. It has a lot of farms, it has little villages, it has a lot of historical buildings around. It's a place that it's really beautiful. The closest place or city urban settlement is Poughkeepsie. That's the capital of Dutchess County. And that's where, for example, you will go get a social security card for international students, for example. And of course, Hyde Park, where is the Presidential Library of President Franklin Roosevelt. So that's also a field trip that we used to host with our summer seminar participants. But it's also an excellent source of research for our students. It's about 45 minutes south, and it's really an interesting place to go. And these areas are more close to campus. One of them is Rhinebeck, is one of those villages, very characteristic of the Hudson Valley. But the one that is very close to Bart and to where our students, most of our students live, is called Red Hook. The college offers a free shuttle for students that goes to Red Hook, around campus, and to the next town, a college town also, that is called Tivoli. And it's connected. Both of these villages, these little cities, are connected by this Bart Shuttle. The Bart Shuttle, it's runs in a schedule. And during the weekends, outside of pandemic times, it will also shuttle students to the train stations and to the mall and big boxes, stores across the river. Tivoli is really a nice area where most of our students live and also work. Students have been able to, find work there while attending the programs. So I'm gonna stop talking here, and I would like to hear from you if you have any questions, if you want to know anything, if I missed something, please let me know. Nobody?
Sorry, I wasn't able to join earlier, so I probably missed it, but did you talk about on-campus employment opportunities as well?
Yes, okay. See, that one I missed. We do not offer teaching assistantships and we do not offer internships. However, a work study is offered to students that are enrolled in the programs. So if you are an international student, for example, currently we have a student that is work study at Bart. He's a language instructor. We don't guarantee jobs. We can't, because our structure is different. I was just talking about how the Institute believes in benefits and fair wages for internships and also for graduate students that work. And we haven't been able to take over that conversation again. So we don't offer that. The college, though, offers jobs to students that want jobs, but they are not, research, or they might be, but those go very fast. But yeah, there are possibilities. Now, again, I don't think there are a lot or infinite possibilities to work, but, sometimes it works out. I also should mention, we usually schedule classes Tuesday to Thursday. So students have like some time to work or commute if they want to go back to New York. However, and I think this is one of the advantages of being a close community and very small community, surprisingly, this cohort, we have students that were not really impressed with having to, pack classes Tuesday to Thursday. So they advocate, and they actually had a town hall with the director. And now we have classes Monday to Friday. I guess it has to do with the pandemic, like you don't want to be sitting in the screen for 8 hours in a row, maybe. But yeah, so we were able to change the schedule to accommodate the needs of our students. But in regular times, when we are in person, we used to schedule these classes Tuesday Wednesday and Thursday, and just jam pack everything in 3 days. Right now, students have been, this cohort did not like that very much. So we scheduled them throughout the week. So again, that's the advantages of having, those are the advantages of having such a tight community and, you know, small classes. You can always navigate these kind of things with everyone, you know, the scholars, the faculty, and the administration. Yeah, go ahead, Ben.
Do you have anticipated enrollment at this point?
We know that our BART students, the 3+2 students, will be here. So far we have a class of 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I mean, again, given the pandemic and everything, you know, we're not expecting.
It's hard to guess, yeah.
People. So we don't know. And remember, many things can change. You know, if we are, how do you say, knock on wood, if we are shut down, we don't know. You know, I mean, if there is a.
It seems pretty unlikely at this stage of things,
You think?
right?
Well,
Yeah.
did you see the Super Bowl spreading event? So I don't know. You know, every time there is something like this, our numbers just woo. After Thanksgiving, it was just crazy. So I don't, you know, I stopped. I don't know. You know, I can't predict anything. So
Sure.
So I want to be positive, and I want to think that things will get better once we get the vaccines sorted out, I think. But at this point, anything can happen, you know, it's just so crazy. So yeah, go ahead, David.
Yeah, so I was wondering for the MS, the 2-year program, is the tuition cost the same in the second year, or does it differ?
No, it's the same.
Got it.
It's the same, yeah. And also, whatever financial aid that you get stays the same. You don't have to submit any other paper. You don't have to do anything else. It just, how do you say, it just carries on. If there is, and this happened actually, if there is any situation that requires you to ask for more financial aid, which happened just before the pandemic. We had a bunch of, not a bunch of students, but, you know, certain students that had a family problem or a crisis. We have one student from Lebanon that just, you know, Lebanon suddenly collapsed. So he had to, he had to appeal for more aid. And I am glad to tell you that he got it. So it can always be adjusted, always be adjusted. I wish we could say in huge, you know, amounts, but I know that, you know, they do what they can.
So,
I'm just curious, but like now I'm an MA student, but what if I find something interesting to do with one of the scholars? Can I switch to an MS?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We've had a lot of students that have done that. They joined the MA and they suddenly decided that they wanted to keep going. So since you have the same classes and it's the same cost structure and it's the same curriculum, you can always do it. Yes, absolutely. And since you are an international student, what we would have to do is just issue a new form that says that you are going to change programs, which is not a big deal. So yeah, totally done. Yes. Anybody else has any question?
Yeah, probably you also said it before, but do you already know when you're going to announce the mode of teaching for fall? I'm currently trying to figure out how to apply for a visa because all the consulates are still closed. So I'm wondering, how to schedule all these things.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's been so uncertain. I actually mentioned that. We don't know. We have not received any notification from the US State Department on when or how or if consulates are going to be open by the fall. I think it's still too early to tell. I mean, the new administration is 20 days into it. So we really don't know. We know, what we do know is that once they open, they will give, well, that's what they said. They were going to give preference to visas, F1 visas, which is our students, right? Our graduate students. But that's totally out of our reach. One of the things also that I mentioned is that as of today, it's very likely, as of today, that we will continue this hybrid mode. Students, for example, started remote and attend the programs remotely, and then they eventually, when the consulates open and the embassies open, managed to come into the country. That was the case, and I have to tell you, with 2 Nepalese students that just came in. They are in the MA, and they started the program remote last fall. They were offered admission, and they started the MA remotely, and right now they're here on campus, both of them. So they're here, they managed to get a visa, they managed to, they complied with all of these COVID protocol. 15 days of just testing, quarantine and stuff, but they made it, and they're here under whatever feet of snow, but they made it. So again, the pandemic has messed up a lot of things. They had trouble finding housing. They eventually did in Poughkeepsie, which is that big city that I told you. So they found a place to live in Poughkeepsie. This area right now, as of today, the housing market is just awful. There's nothing. So it's really, really, that's going to be a challenge. Yeah, go ahead, Liz. We can hear you. Okay.
Yes, I want to ask about the transcripts, which you have already talked about. At this point, I'm a 3+2, and I have submitted an unofficial transcript. So do I have to submit an official transcript now, or can I submit it after I got my final grade?
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're a BART student. So that, one thing of the BART students is that you are going to get your transcript when you graduate both programs. So when we do commencement, you're going to get your BA and you're going to get your MS at the same time. So there's no transcript for you because you haven't finished. So okay. You don't need to do that.
And also, do I have to submit the deposit?
That, yes, because as of now, you are a undergraduate student. You're coded. The administration, the system, the computers, everybody, they have you coded as an undergraduate student. So once you submit the deposit, which is going to be reimbursed to your account, I mean, this is not a thing. It will code you and kick you to the graduate student thing.
So should I now, through the student's account right now?
Not right now, but eventually you want to do it. Yeah, just go through your portal and do it. And they will, because you got I saw that you got your letter back from the undergraduate college. So you're ready to go. Yeah, so congratulations. Yeah, that was really nice. So you're ready to go. Just. I
found my international financial aid form for the.
No, you don't need to do that. It is already, no, because your aid from the undergraduate college translates, how do you say, automatically. If you want to appeal for more aid, then write to financial aid and tell them that. But you don't have to submit any new forms. You're fine.
So you mean that, yes, I'm planning to apply for the Minsky and Goldley scholarship.
Oh, okay, cool.
I have to do now. So I should submit two emails. One is about the letters for the Minsky and Goldley scholarships.
Okay.
And the other is to the financial aid office.
Yeah.
So is that the right thing to do?
I would do that. Okay. just to be safe. I would do both. Yeah.
So can I start submitting right now? Because you said that I can submit.
You can submit anytime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the deadline is April.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Of course. Liz, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you're going to send out a link or something with instructions on how to submit that deposit.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I will send all of you the Enroll Now link, and everything that I said is going to be there. and then you guys can look through it and everything. All medical records, everything that I talked about, you just submit it electronically. There is no, there's no hazard. It's really easy. And of course, you can always email me, or we can schedule a Zoom like this to go over any problems or questions that you have.
Great, thank you.
Of course. Do you want to go ahead, Julia? We can hear you.
So
Okay.
I was just kind of wondering, so since I'm not a BARD student, I was wondering if I should send my official transcripts now or when I get my final grades back for this semester.
Whatever you decide. I think it's better to wait.
Mhm.
No, maybe wait until the finals, maybe.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Yes, go ahead, Nitin.
I couldn't find anything about your credit structure for courses in your website. Do you have any sort of credit structure?
My credits, I don't know.
Like in other universities, they have like 3 credits for one course, and they tell you how many credits you get at the end of the program.
Oh, okay. We don't have those in the website. You're right. I will send you the brochure, and that's the brochure. So what happens is that each class has certain credits, and in order to complete the program, you need a certain number of credits, right? So I'll send you that, but I'm pretty sure that it is not in our website. I can send that to you.
And does the Minsky scholarship cover even the living costs?
No, see, that's the thing. We are a master's program, so the structure of the program does not allow, if you want to say it like that, to cover costs like living costs of housing or per diems. Because we are a master's program. Usually in the United States, only PhD programs do that traditionally, right? I mean, but we don't do that because we're just a master's. We're a master of science or a master of arts. So it's very common that I understand that because I think this is the only I don't know if this is the only country that does that, because I do know that in Latin America there are a lot of graduate programs that offer that kind of fellowships and scholarships. In this country, it's usually only PhDs that do that. You don't get the same financial aid structure as we do, for example, in Mexico or in Argentina, where graduate students are receive this kind of aid and housing even. So no, sadly we don't. We do have, by the way, a list, and I can share it with you, a list of foundations and organizations that offer fellowships to students. And I can share it with everyone here if you want to apply for fellowship or some sort of scholarship from those institutions. I'll email it to you, okay? All right.
Is anyone on the MS in the second year of the MS is local residency necessary?
No,
I mean, you could work on it where it's
sure.
predominantly by correspondence. You're sharing papers back and forth with a group of advisors.
You could do that. Sure. Yes. We've had students that have done that. Granted that you've complied with all of the coursework, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Sure.
But just to write the paper, you don't necessarily need to be there every day, really, for any reason.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We've had some students that were actually already working in New York and just came to meet with their advisors the very last semester, for example. But it was very efficient the way they complied with their coursework right away, and they were able to do that. So yeah, absolutely, yes.
I mean, in the second year predominantly, not for the classes. Yeah.
No.
Has anybody ever stretched the classes out?
Yes, also we've had students that have personal health issues, and they actually take a leave of absence, but work very close with their faculty and advisors and complete work. But this is, again, a personal arrangement with your advisor faculty. And
But I
then when
mean
they
that-
come back, they get the credits, and then they also submit whatever work was missing.
But I mean, work through the classes themselves over the course of the 2 years, like combine the writing and the classes for less density.
Sure,
classes.
you could do that if you are, yeah, if you organize and
I run
you
a
talk
business.
to
That's
them.
so
Oh,
time
no,
is.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, yeah.
No, yes, I understand. And yeah, I think totally if you make that personal commitment and have the discipline to do it, sure, I think it could be doable, right? Anybody
you.
else? Of course. Anybody else has a question? Yes, go ahead, David.
I was wondering just approximately how many of your students also work part-time, because I'm just trying to weigh between keeping my employment
Yeah.
and perhaps more importantly, keeping my health insurance tethered to my employment and saving those costs. And I'm just wondering what students' experiences have been like in terms of juggling part-time work along with their full-time studies at Bard.
We have had, I mean, one of the things that this pandemic has actually been good at is allowing our students to keep their jobs. So we have, for example, right now, a student that is employed in the central bank of another country and is able to attend the programs and continue working. So he made an arrangement with his employer so that he can continue working. So remotely, if we continue this remote hybrid mode, I think it's going to be very likely that students can comply with their work, with their academic work. And again, you know, it also requires a lot of self-discipline and commitment. So yeah, I mean, remotely, I think so. Now, in person, that's another thing, you know, because like I said, New York is like about an hour and a half. So, you know, you have a lot of variables that come in when things change and pivot to only in person. So that's going to be another conversation. But like I said before, at this moment, I think for the rest of the year, we're going to continue with this hybrid mode of attendance, which is also an advantage to those students, for example, that are in other countries. They don't have to go through the hazard of visas. They also can keep their jobs and, you know, save some money for when the country reopens. I want to say it.
Thank you.
Of course. Anybody else has a question? No? Well, I'm gonna finish it right here. And I hope that you consider enrolling in the programs. If you have any other question, or if there is anything that I missed or did not answer, please email me. I made already the note of what kind of emails I have to send and also the enrollment instructions and all that. I hope you stay healthy, and I hope that you stay safe, and I hope that you enroll. And thank you for joining me. It was a real pleasure to see everybody and know and meet you, all of you. So thank you very much. And please email me if you have any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.